Welcome back, fellow enemies of the fire. We are here again. I told you this is a special episode, so we got some weird stuff for you. So, again, James, what do you have for the people right now?
My
What special
good,
treat?
my good for this week is hockey having its best year ever. I mean, it's having an absolute resurgence in being talked about on the timelines in the media. All sorts of things just keep coming up where there's these special moments with hockey, and I, as a hockey fan, love it. But I'm also noticing it, and it's definitely something's going on, and something big happened this week where Wayne Gretzky is now 1 goal away from tying Alexander Ovechkin's goal record. Yes, that's right, he did it. Alex Ovechkin, the greatest goal scorer in NHL history. I mean, by the way, the great one still dwarfs him in points. Like it's like 1,000 by 1,000. It's like not even
Oh,
close.
why? Because the assists?
Because of the assists, but it's
Okay.
not even close. But in goals, he has exceeded the great one, Alex Ovechkin, the great eight, greatness, as you see here. Gets nice little pass over from across the crease, bam, and just bangs home number.
Oh, it's not. It wasn't even a tap in. He put it in with authority.
Oh, with authority. And he even, the coach was going to send him out the night before against the Blackhawks to get an empty netter because he scored 2 goals against the Blackhawks the night or 2 nights before in front. And the entire time, by the way, Wayne Gretzky has been there. He's been there.
He's been on the tour like the 72 Dolphins.
He's been
just
at
going
every
around.
Ovechkin game the past few weeks, watching as he's going to break his record. And there's a special reason he did that. It's because his Gordie Howe, whose record he broke, did something similar. Was very graceful with Wayne breaking his record. In fact, Gordie Howe's wife gave Wayne's wife a present. Wayne's wife gave Ovechkin's wife Nastya a present, and it was kind of like a hockey tradition continuing. It was very awesome, very cool to see. In fact, they stopped.
Was it the Brimstone Cup?
Dude, they stopped the game in the middle of the second period. There's 12 minutes on the clock. They stopped the game for 25 minutes plus, and they had a celebration. They had a ceremony for this. It was stupendous. I loved it.
That's a little weird.
Stop
was the game for like 5 minutes. I feel you. Do your celebration after the game.
At least. It was awesome. It was special. He gave a speech. Gary Bettman was there. He got appropriately booed, and then some cheers because it's a running joke in the NHL that you love to boo Gary Bettman, even though we all kind of really like Gary Bettman because he's the commissioner.
That's
a running gag there. But yes,
I gotta say this.
And in the same amount of games.
Yeah, that's the cool part, right? That is the super cool part, that it happened in the exact amount of games. But I gotta tell you, A, you called it X, which was funny. And then B, I feel like you had to tell me this happened. Like, I have heard of Alex Ovechkin, right? I have. I mean, part of that is, I think, the cultural awareness of the Blackhawks in the 2010s.
That'll do it.
You know what I mean? Like, at least the local cultural awareness. Like, I heard about Connor Bedard, and I haven't heard a thing about hockey since. I feel like MLS and hockey live in these worlds. We don't hear anything about each other. And, like,
they're in their own bubbles in a way.
It's wild. It's kind of like the same thing. Like, there's just so much to watch and to do nowadays. It's hard to stay. Like, I remember being younger and just watching Sports Center every night and like staying up on everything. And now I can't. I stay up on MLS.
Man, do you remember that Sports Center, Cartoon Network? Like, oh man, some of that late night stuff back in the day. MTV After Dark.
Oh, I remember that stuff. Oh my God. I used to love the Adult Swim. Now, hold on. Go back to Ovechkin's stats. I love that. They broke it down with who he scored against.
17 against the Blackhawks.
Which, to be fair, wait, isn't Utah like brand new?
Yes, they are! Well, they used to be
like
Phoenix. So they have the Coyotes. The Coyotes are right there. But so Coyotes became Utah.
Oh, the Phoenix Coyotes don't exist anymore?
Correct.
Didn't the Nordiques go down to become the Coyotes?
No,
and now the Nordiques...
You close. Quebec Nordiques became Colorado Avalanche.
Ah. Okay.
And then
All
Hartford
right.
Whalers became the Carolina Hurricanes.
Ew. Bring back Hartford.
I loved Hartford. Great.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I derailed it. I just
Yeah, but so
that's
this brings up, so it wasn't just this, but it makes me think of the Four Nations tournament that I was talking about in an earlier podcast. And it was just like hockey's having a great little
resurgence.
resurgence here where people are paying attention to it. MLS needs that moment, and guess what? Messi's arrival did it a little bit, but ever since then, it's been a little bit stagnant. Something needs
Well,
to
they're not
go.
capitalizing on the World Cup. That's the problem. They should have been
Do you think
hyping
so?
this World Cup.
Do you think so?
They should have been for like the last 4 years. They should have been hyping like America's League. Watch the World Cup here in America.
Right.
America. They should have been doing that for like 9 years already, but like at least the last 4.
At least since we've gotten it awarded, right?
Because I mean, not even that, but just in the last 4, because dude, the quality of Major League Soccer has improved so much. And so like I guess I got a question for you about hockey, because I'll say this. I feel like I'm in my 40s, right? So I feel like basketball is probably the best it's ever been, because not only is everybody huge, but they're all athletic and every one of them can hit a shot, right? From anywhere. So is hockey, and so MLS is a billion times better than it was in 2005, right?
Yes.
Quality wise.
It's better than it was in 98, better than 90. Yes.
But what is hockey like? Is hockey better now than it ever has been or not?
So hockey's faster than it's ever been.
Okay.
Hockey's faster than it's ever been. Hockey only kind of gets faster, but they're going to hit a point where it's like, how much faster can you get? And they've had to do a lot for addressing certain kinds of hits where they had to really kind of change certain styles and referee them out of the game, where, these guys were getting checked into oblivion when their backs were against the walls, and then boom, like it's like, it's just destroying them. So with the speed and the pace of play of NHL, especially, and in the younger game, it is so fast it would blow your mind. TPG talked about it. He's like, he was having a hard time watching that puck. It is a skill to find that puck. I really wish they'd bring glow puck back, because that was awesome.
I remember everybody hated it, and I was just kind of, it was, the technology just wasn't there yet. I mean, now it'd probably be on. It's got to be there,
but the HD TV is like, I can see it pretty damn well. I'm watching really up close. I can see it all. And so the hockey is just having this nice little renaissance. I'm hoping that happens to MLS, but right now it doesn't seem like that. I'm a little concerned for MLS, actually. I'm at this place where I'm wondering if MLS has peaked. If MLS peaked in 2018, 2019, when the Gerards and the Pirlos and the Schweinsteigers were here. I mean, yes, the results weren't great, but I'm wondering if that's when the MLS peaked, because right now there is literally better soccer today in MLS. Yes, better soccer 100. than 2018. Than any year of its entire existence. I think this year 2025 is literally the best iteration of MLS soccer you have ever fucking seen. And
I would 100% agree with you on that part of it.
And here's the problem. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And the pressures aren't there. The games don't fucking matter. The buzz is already dead. You said it at the beginning of this podcast. The buzz on the season is already dead. How has that happened? That doesn't happen in the Premier League. The buzz just gets more and more and more and more. It ramps up and ramps up. In MLS, though, it's dead until the playoffs. It's dead.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I listen. Mm-hmm. I guess I come at this for a slightly different viewpoint. I was there for when MLS needed to claw for every inch, right? And so, again, I want the salary cap gone. I think that won't instantly fix everything, but that would eventually fix everything. But I'll say this. You have to extend this line graph out further. This is just a slight plateau, because I'll say this. It's like, think about a band comes out with like a first record that kind of hits. It's early in the genre. Maybe it's recorded and kind of sounds like shit, but it sold pretty well. They do some big shows. then they're all like kind of the second album doesn't do as well, and they're kind of playing club shows, and then they put out the third album that the mainstream doesn't even care about or nothing, but then they got this like group of fans, so they can like can fill the they can fill the 2,500 person venue, right? So right now, I think MLS is just worried about keeping us sickos around. Like the Apple deal, I'm still on record saying I don't think anybody gives a shit if they make a penny. I don't think this is about that. Dude, I think MLS.
How much did you pay for your Apple? You paid $0?
Well, I'm a season ticket holder.
Oh, that's great. I paid $99, the going fee. If I had not paid and I'd waited 4 weeks, I could have gotten it for a $5 bet. $5 bet on DraftKings. That's how much this thing has sank. They're giving it away for free. And you know how many people signed up after that $5 bet? Not that many.
I mean, who knows? Like,
you say that the turnover numbers for MLS, if it was good, they'd be bragging. The deal might collapse before it's over. The deal's not good for MLS. Each team is getting not enough money, and they have to put money in it to the production. It's not a good deal for MLS.
Hold on,
it's not a good deal for Apple. It might be best for this deal to dissolve and for them to broker a deal and get onto over-the-air TV as soon as possible. Maybe ESPN. I think has an opening.
I think it's smart. I think it's smart to let the clubs do local deals over the air. Mm-hmm. I think that is smart. But I'll say this. You're missing the bigger picture with this. I don't think anybody over there is... Yeah, you are correct. If the numbers were gangbusters, we'd hear about them. But I don't think that's the main point. I think the point of the matter is when MLS is already as a digital product, and in a couple of years when every other league in the world does it or whatever... You can go to you'll eventually be like, okay, I'll bundle the MLB plan with the MLS plan, or, give me MLS and Premier League in Germany, and I think they're trying to be on the bleeding edge of that.
And they're paying the price.
Well, they are, but they're not though. They're using the Apple money. So they are keeping peanuts of money. But again, I don't think money's the point. I think Apple desperately wants to prove to everyone.
Then what's the point? It's not about Apple, though, Toke. It's not about Apple. It's about MLS.
No, it is.
Fuck Apple. The deal. It's about MLS and U.S. soccer, and Apple is getting fucked, and MLS soccer is getting fucked. Like, no, they're not helping each other.
They're not getting fucked. They don't care about the money side of things. What they're getting out of it is Apple now has years of experience without any interruption. Right? They didn't just do it for a year and then stop. So now they have proof of concept to sell to every other sporting league in the world, from Frisbee golf all the way to MLB, all the way to Premier League.
And when do they drop MLS? Like a bad habit.
They don't. Why drop MLS? It's just now like the minor dollars, whereas the other ones are the bigger dollars.
So sunk cost, right?
Shit, the Premier League subsidizes the MLS broadcasting. You feel me? Like, that's how this is going to work. MLS wants to be on the bleeding edge, so they're a part of those packages going forward. And Apple wants to prove to every sport team and league on the planet that they can broadcast.
I agree with your assessment. I absolutely agree with your assessment. And the desired outcome. I disagree with the outputs. It's not going to happen. MLS is sinking, and if they're going to show this as a success, it hasn't been a success. They've been losing subscribers to the point where they have to give it away for free, practically for free. Like the year before, they were giving it away to T-Mobile customers. The year before, after.
No, they did that. Yeah, they did that 2 years ago, and then they did that again this year.
Yeah, and they did it again. It's because the numbers are, and they never talk about the numbers. They never talk about the number. If they were having good numbers, if they had anything good, it would be reported. It is not. Well,
hold on though.
The economic status of MLS is in peril.
Hold on.
And here's the big thing.
I gotta ask you a question.
USL knows, and they are sitting there ripe for the picking up the rebound. That MLS cannot seem to bury the layup.
USL does not listen. This isn't just an MLS problem. This is the sport of soccer in America. I get that everybody says there's all these soccer fans, but how easy would it be for you to change from the Chicago Fire to somebody in just America.
Not hard.
Like,
It'd be
how
hard.
hard is it
It would
for
be
you
hard.
if you watched Manchester United for 20 years?
It would be hard.
You're gonna change to the Chicago Fire? No, like it's
hard
it is
even
what
now,
it is.
where I am actually Toke. I am like ready to jump onto USL team, and it's hard. Like I'm here. In fact, you know what? I saw my first USL game this season over the air. It was on CBS over the air broadcast. I was flipping through the TV after right around the Ovechkin game. Because I was abreast of that. I saw the game before, and I was like, oh, I love hockey. It was something I love to watch with my dad. I played it, so I was keeping abreast of that game, and I saw that, oh, there's a USL soccer game. I'll click it, see what's going on here. And it was fun. I believe it was San Antonio taking on Tulsa or something like that. But
you could watch USL every week on Paramount Plus.
I'm not gonna pay for it. That's the thing. Just like it's the same
like
problem.
Plus.
Same problem with MLS. I'm not gonna pay for it, except I pay for MLS.
Oh my god, dude! All the Star Trek. Anyway, I'm sorry.
But even though I do pay for MLS, but I pay for MLS because I have a podcast with you guys. I don't know if I didn't have this podcast if I'd be paying for MLS this season.
I would be, but I'm different. That's just.
And here's the thing. You're right, but also this year. The most exciting time to be a Chicago Fire fan in the last 10 years. It literally is.
Yes, it is.
It is. This year is the most exciting time to be a Chicago Fire fan in the last 10 years. More exciting than Bastian Schweinsteiger times because, gosh damn it, we actually might be able to win. We don't have Paunovic here.
You see a future with this team.
You see a future.
Schweinsteiger team was like duct tape and bandages.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Me and my brother used to talk about it on our old show. And it was like a carriage or a car built with like a carriage wheel and some connects, a little bit of Legos and some blocks. It was just like, and then you got a stick to like, and some tape. Not just duct tape. There is one piece of duct tape, but along with the duct tape, there's like Scotch tape, painter's tape. It's all sorts of. There's glue.
It was whatever.
It's bubble gum instead of glue because there is no glue.
Okay, I have one last question for you, and then we can move on.
All right.
Now, I get that the DraftKings thing where you could bet $5 and get it. I get that T-Mobile gave it away. But is that MLS asking them to do that, or did they say we'll cut you this like a lump sum check, and then you give us as many licenses as we need?
Okay, Toke, it's 100%. That is 100% MLS approaching DraftKings because they had a need. And here's the thing, they have a relationship with DraftKings. DraftKings has a relationship with a lot of these leagues, and they have a vested relationship that they want to see these leagues succeed, because if there is no MLS league for people to bet on, what are they going to bet on? They'll have less to bet on. They'll lose their product. So these betting companies have a vested interest in working with them. And so MLS approaches them with a deal and say, hey, we're kind of struggling for subscribers. Do you think we could give you a deal where you could try and run a little promotion for us and just give away these codes? And they're like, yeah, sure.
I wonder.
It had to be. It's not DraftKings. DraftKings.
I mean, if
DraftKings doesn't need MLS as much as MLS needs DraftKings. That's what happened in that deal.
I mean, yeah.
Like DraftKings does value MLS as a partnership, but if they go away, USL will be there. But at the same, I just, God, this is gonna be a throwback. You sound like a regular old Ted Westerfeld or whatever his name was. Please no.
Oh no, no! In all
man.
seriousness, no, I don't. Yeah. I feel like listen. Everything the USL is doing is exciting. They have a higher hill to climb than I think people are giving it credit for.
Yes. I mean, this is promotion and relegation being brought to you by people who know nothing about promotion and relegation. That's the biggest thing. Like, you've all these guys who just don't know what they're trying to bring you, but they know that what they want.
Like, does USL have money
idea.
for parachute payments?
That's the question, right? They have to figure out all these nuances. They have to figure, but the fact is they've committed to moving forward with that idea, and I hope that they can figure out some good proposals and some good movements. And I wonder at what point does MLS like think that they're potentially getting left behind, because this thing's happening. It's working that way, and I gotta say, I'm excited about the product. I watched the USL get the game this weekend along with an MLS game, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed both. I did enjoy both.